Welcome viewers to Pentecostal Holiness Association Area 24. Today we are privileged to have a man of God who is coming from the United States of America. I hope it's New York.
It is.
Yes. So we want to hear from him, we want to learn from him for the good things that he has done and what he's been doing. He's been a minister in the Lord for quite some time. So as media of Area 24 Church, we would like to hear his testimony and the work of God that he has done in Malawi. So right now, Pastor Paparatti, welcome to
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, you have to tell us your name.
Well, my full name is Raimondo Paparatti, but to be a lot easier, Ray is the short version, so Pastor Ray ends up being what everyone calls me.
All right. Now we as Area 24 Church, we are privileged to have you here, and you are so blessed. And we want to hear about your testimony and the love for Malawi, because we've seen you started coming to Malawi way back in 1990 something. Yeah.
Well, my first trip to Malawi was in 2008. I had gone to school with my dear friend, Bishop Adams Lwesya, and we were classmates together. And I remember for many years, he would tell me, one day you must come to Malawi. Wow. And I said, okay, one day. And I was new in the ministry. I was pastoring in a church. And I felt this burden that I needed to do missions. And one day I was praying and the Lord spoke to me. He says, now is when you must contact him. And I contacted him, and he had the open invitation, invited me to Malawi. And in 2008 I came the first time to Malawi. So that's just how I arrived in Malawi. That first trip was so unique. It was my first time here on the African continent, and the experiences were just magnificent. God was doing so many things. I remember praying for so many different people, and there was this one moment that stood out for me that actually became the culmination of why I continued to come. We were doing an open air meeting, and this one father came to me for prayer, and he was holding his boy in his hands, and that little boy's body was completely lifeless. And he put him in his hands, and he said, please, he said, my son is dying of TB. He says, pray for my son. Oh. It was such a moment of realizing the need, not just the need of people, but to realize that God was willing to do something. God is willing to reach people. After that trip, I saw so many things, so many experiences, that I went home and I actually said to the Lord, I'm done. I don't want to do missions anymore. I said, I don't want to go back to Malawi. I was so affected by the need that it frightened me. And I remember I was praying in my bed one night, and I said to the Lord, I'm ready. Take me anywhere else now. What country is next? And I heard the Lord speak so clear to me. He said to me that day, I will never send you anywhere. He said, I sent you one place, and you're not happy where I sent you. And I said, Lord, I got on my knees. I repented. I said, Lord, if Malawi is the only place I'll ever go, I'll do it with all my heart. And from that day, it was just a few months later, I came back to Malawi. And then thereafter, we started taking teams and developing a work here and working with the local church. So that's a little bit of how God brought us here and are continuing to work here.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the wonderful testimony. I hope viewers out there are being blessed with the testimony of Pastor Ray Paparratti. And we are really blessed. And how do you rate yourself Malawi culture and food, as well as
well, you know, I laugh about this. I know I'm an Azungu on the outside, but I think sometimes I'm Malawian on the inside. food, well, as far as culture and food, culture is something so, I'm so open to culture, and I really think it's the presence of the Lord, because really every culture I've ever gone into, and God, through Malawi, God has allowed me to travel literally the world, and through that I've been able to embrace culture and say, Lord, I'm going to do this because you called me to this place. And it's quite, with that framework of mine, it becomes really easy to adapt to a culture. And so Malawian culture is easy to adapt to. The food is just, I am one of those people, I can eat anything, dead, alive, it doesn't matter. Give me insects, I will eat insects. So I think sometimes I shock my host. Actually, there was one trip, I think we were in Mwanza, and I was with Bishop, and we were in the marketplace, and I saw these small green insects, and I said, oh, can we buy those ones? And he said, please, don't eat everything. So for me, it's easy. It's easy to adapt, so there's no problem for me in the area of culture.
That's a wonderful thing. You remember in our culture we call it the inswa, something like the green grasshopper.
Oh, the grasshopper! I've eaten many grasshoppers.
Ziwara, is it?
Yeah. Actually, one time I even brought grasshoppers here for some of the pastors from the States. I can eat insects. I've eaten the flying termites from Malawi.
Yeah.
It's no problem. Yeah. So,
yeah. All right. We really appreciate for your visit in Malawi and the wonderful that you have here in Malawi. And we possibly feel that you're going to be seeing you often coming back to Malawi, and we see that the Lord is using you, and you have a heart for Malawi. It came as a vision to you, and as a testimony, we really blessed. Now, we've heard about your faith, and how about your ministry?
Where I am? Well, I've been pastoring since 2002 in different areas, but my hometown is New York. I grew up in New York. I was pastoring in different places, and one day we were in a transition. I was an executive pastor in a very large church, and we were looking to go out and pastor a new church, and I was looking so many different places to become the senior pastor, and really the Lord spoke to me and said to me, you're in New York. New York is the center, at least for us, is the center of the United States. Every culture comes to New York. So we decided in 2011 to plant a church. And so in our hometown, we planted a church. We named it Life Point Church. And a few years after that, we added to the name Life Point Church International based on our vision. So our vision for that ministry is that our philosophy is any culture that God sends to the church becomes an open door for us to do ministry in that home nation. So that's where the international part came. So whatsoever culture comes to our church, every culture that's outside of their own. So if, let's say if a Malawian comes to New York, his desire, even though he's living there, his desire is always his own people. And so we saw that as a church, and we decided to develop a program where an international person may come, we work with them, develop them, and then that gives us the open door to enter their country. And by God's grace, we have been doing it. Not only have we been working and reproducing ourselves as a church, our goal is to every year try to reproduce our church and plant a new church. And so God has given us the grace to do that here in Malawi. We've done it in India. We've done it through churches in the Philippines. And God has just opened the doors for us as an international church. So we thank the Lord for that.
Oh, you've been to India?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
God has allowed us to traverse many, many different countries.
Wow. Wow. Well, this is a personal question. Are you married and you have a family?
Yes, I am married. I have a beautiful, beautiful wife.
Yeah.
We've been married for just about 22 years. And I have two children. A girl is my eldest. Her name is Mia. And a boy who is the youngest. His name is Marco. My daughter just this year we brought her to her first year of university, so she's already grown, and my boy is about almost 16 years old, so he's soon be a man. But that's what the Lord has given us. I've been faithfully married, and outside of ministry, I am so thankful that God has given me a family. It is my greatest joy.
We did appreciate for what you continue doing, and we thank God for God connecting you to our Apostle Adams Lwesya in Malawi. God purposes everything for a reason.
He does.
And you are here for a reason. And that reason is what God put in you. This is what we are seeing now. Finally, I have viewers out there, and I know here is our guest from US. Click the button. You'll be blessed as you see you continue viewing our interview. Finally, when are you
going back? Well, I'm here one more week. I have one more week, and I've been also blessed not only to do ministry here, but the apostle being my dearest friend, I'll be attending and officiating his daughter's wedding on Saturday, and then Sunday I have the joy of preaching one more time here in Area 24, and so that evening I'll be flying back to the States. So.
Long trip.
Yeah, it's quite a journey, but God has proven himself so faithful, so we thank the Lord for it.
Well, thank you, Bishop Paparatti, for sparing your time.
Oh, thank you so much.
Listen to our media, our TV station here at Area 24. We hope to see you next time.
Truly.
Thank you so
Truly,
much.
thank you. God bless you so much.
Be blessed.
Thank you as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Viewers, we did appreciate for you being there. Listen to the interview. You're most welcome. Click the button, subscribe to our channel, and you'll be blessed. The interview that we had with the bishop, it's there. Continue listening, and you'll be blessed. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.